Hey everybody, hey Ember, here you formulate. So we are back. This mat keeps getting moved. I apparently just keep shuffling it farther away from the desk. Hey Ramu. So I planned this morning what we were gonna do in the afternoon, and I'm pretty sure, yeah. Spent the whole day coding idle ascendants. Got skill trees done, and then worked on ability stuff. Yeah, so where we left off earlier today, let me just restart this whole thing so we can see it. So we got it so that battles can be fully automated. So we can add automation points here. And now every time it'll just choose an attack to use and, slowly work its way through the battle this way. So yeah, system's working. Pretty happy about that. And we got these skill trees all together, although the skills don't do anything. But you can put up to 5 points in each skill. And that's that. So yeah, let's go make it so that some of the abilities actually do stuff. Oh wait, no, we got to check in first. Hang on, let me do that first. And then we're going to add in some new abilities. So we don't want to check this in. What is this? Let's see. Get each ability. Check to see if we used it. If so, say that we took our turn. Okay. Actually, I think it's pretty important that this ends up in the final game. So I got to write this down somewhere. I'll ask as a question. Is it important that you can still manually choose actions even when your character is fully automated by queuing them? This was not totally intentional when I coded it, but I think it's the case, and it should probably stay in. Who stole it? Reformulated. I guess, should there be anything else to do during a battle? Not sure any manual actions make sense. Whew. All right, great, cool. So automatically use ability. So we have now allowed for full automation of your character, and something changed somewhere else, didn't it? No, apparently that was it. Weren't there two parts of this task? What was the task? Randomly pick between, oh yeah, sure, okay. Okay, so allow for actual character automation. We don't just pick the first ability every time. And the automation, like skill, properly adds 25% chance of automation per level. Cool. All right, so this task is now done. Now we are on to add warrior abilities. So add slash, sweeping arc, and crush, and have their use functions actually do something different. And then get rid of the debug abilities on player characters. Okay, so we only have debug abilities right now. We're just going to save this as slash. And this is going to be slash. It'll be slash ability. All right, so that's it. It's already coded. This is the same as debug one attack. It finds one, oh wait, this should be capitalized. It finds one character to attack and does some damage to it. We're not gonna worry about damage numbers yet. What is this 15 for? Oh yeah, the cooldown. Cooldown of slash should probably be pretty low, like 1 second. All right, there we go. That's done. So that's slash. Now we want sweeping arc. What is sweeping arc supposed to do? Direct physical damage, multi-target up to 3. Okay, this should be easy as well. There should be backslash. We have backslash, forward slash, and then vertical slash, aka pipe. Sweeping arc. I wonder how much the class names actually matter here. guess I need a way of instantiating a class, but I don't think I want to do it by class names. I don't know. I'll need to see how the code ends up working for this. So sweeping arc, sure, I don't know, a 2-second cooldown. I'm just making stuff up. And then this picks up to 3 enemies. So there we go. Probably does less damage than slash does. So we'll just pick 65, I guess. And then the final one is crush. High damage, single target, chance to miss. Okay, so crush. These are easy enough to code. This is not the hard part. The hard part is all the passives we have modifying this stuff. So crush should probably be, I don't know, a 3-second chance. I'm just making stuff up for right now. So it picks one enemy, but it has a chance to miss. And what should its chance to miss be? Let's say 20%. But then it should do, I don't know, 100 damage. All right, so miss chance, or like, I guess just if rand f is less than 0.2, then just return. Chance to miss. There we go. All right, those are our 3 abilities. Now we get rid of debug, whatever, attack 2, whatever it's called, this thing. Yeah, so this stuff goes away, and we add in slash, sweeping arc, and what was the last one? Crush. Yeah. And did they just work? I feel like they should just work. Slash not declared in current scope. I think this is just a matter of needing to reload this. Oh, I never loaded up the YouTube chat. So I don't know if someone's saying something on YouTube right now. They just work? Well, that's me talking. No, no one has said anything on YouTube. There we go. Okay. So yeah, let's go try this out. Still says slash not declared in current scope. How is that possible? Slash ability. Oh, because it's called slash ability? Oh, whoops. I don't probably like how that... Maybe they should have ability in the name? I don't know. Yeah, I'll just keep it there for now. All right, so we get into a battle. Do we have these abilities now? Did it just do something weird with that bar? I think it did. I think I know what was happening. And I think that happens every time I start this up. Give me a sec. I want to try that again. Yeah, it's definitely messing that up. That turn cooldown bar. Thank you, Smoke, for testing it. Cooldown. Here it is. So we changed the scale. And here we set the scale based on... What is this doing? It's a minimum of 1. Or sorry. It's a minimum of this. But this should only be increasing. Time until turn divided by get time until. What is this? Yeah, minus equal delta. I don't know what's going on with that. Huh. Well, that definitely feels like a bug. But it's not really worth figuring out. Okay, so slash attacks 1 enemy and does a decent amount of damage. Good. Sweeping arc attacks 3 enemies. Good. Slash. Crush can kill an enemy 80% of the time. Good. So kill an enemy there. Slash. Sweeping arc. Slash. We got to change the turn time. So I'm going to crush something that missed. Yeah, I mean, that tested everything. And then we just need to test sweeping arc when there's only 1 enemy. Yeah, still works. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So now we just change the turn time from 0.5 to, I don't know, 2.5, 4 even. And now I think only crush is not usable every single turn. Yeah, so we can't use crush yet, but we can use sweeping arc, crush. Crush missed. Now we can't use it again. Nice. Okay, cool. So those are the warrior abilities. Get rid of the debug abilities, implement 2 mods per ability. So this is where things start getting tough. Although possibly not even really all that tough. Let's try something out here. Let's do this. So in Crush, let's make it a 100% chance to miss. So now there's no way for you to ever have this ability do something. Let's also give it no cooldown. Well, no cooldown. 1 second cooldown is the same as no cooldown in this case. Because the turn time is 2.5 seconds. Okay, so now Crush should never work, right? Used it once, didn't do anything. Used it a second time, didn't do anything. I'm going to try 3 times. Good. Okay, so it's never doing anything. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to now modify it with another ability. So if we go into constants and we get Crush Mod 1, let's say. So what do I want to get here? This character should know Crush Mod 1. We have a way of checking if... I guess we just want to get the ability. So yeah, I guess just get ability, fine. All right, var mod 1 passive ability equals battle character. Okay, that should be good. So if this thing's level is... Oh, it won't have a level. It might be null. I gotta think about this. Do you hover your hands over the keyboard? Where do you rest? I rest my wrists on the desk, yeah. Also, welcome in. I'm working on a game called Idle Ascendants. We are trying to add in some abilities today. Well, not today. I don't know how long this is going to take, actually, but we're just going to do a bunch of ability-related stuff and battle stuff. Yeah, so you might not have this. So var... I don't know. Let's just do this. How about this? If mod 1 is not equal to null. Or no, if it's equal to null. And random is less than this. Yeah, okay, cool. So now just by getting Crush Mod 1, you should no longer ever miss. Why does it say this is unsafe? Get ability not present on... Oh, battle character? Oh, yeah. It's in character data. Okay. So we're going to try this out. Crush should do nothing. Good. Nothing. Nothing again. And now we get Crush Mod 1. Oh, but we got to fully automate the character for that. Okay, let's go hack our way past that. Disabled equals true. Yeah, this, we need to turn this off. But we can't leave that off. Yeah, now I just need to restart the game. Okay, so clicking Crush doesn't do anything. Yep, good. All right, but now we get Crush Mod 1, and now it should always kill an enemy. Yes, good. Cool. Neat, we can modify our abilities now. All right, and this should hopefully just be an error by... Yep, that's totally fine. Okay, so what are the mods that we want? Let's look at slash. Let's delete... I don't know how we want to do this exactly yet, but let's look at slash for now. So the way that I said slash was going to work... Maybe RM is a mod you should implement. Goblin mode. Do 6 damage if it's dark out. Chance to do multiple attacks on the same enemy. Okay, so this is the same enemy. So we want... We're going to say that's mod 1, I guess. Because I'm not coming up with names yet. So I guess we should actually just name it, right? Okay, fine. So this is going to be rapid slash. All right, which means we should really rename all of these things too, right? Now, would it make sense to name them like this? Slash mod rapid slash? Or would it just make sense to name it like this? Yeah, I think the name is probably better like this. So we go to constants, we rename this thing everywhere in the code base. Yep. There, and there. We go back to searching for rapid slash. So how is this going to work? We need to come up with what the percent chance per level is. AMPV. It's a very clever comment. Yeah, so let's implement this too. allow or like show somewhere the percent per level that a skill increases. I might as well code this. It's going to be needed. All right, so rapid slash. We have a chance of a rapid slash. Is that what this is? Chance to do multiple attacks. Okay, so just from a balance, I shouldn't think about balance. I was gonna say X% chance to do multiple attacks on the same target. If multiple attacks needs to be defined here. So is it 2 attacks, or is like X% chance to do Y attacks on the same target? So at level 1, it could be like a 5% chance to do 2 attacks. Level 2, it could be a 10% chance to do 3 attacks. Maybe it's a range. Like Y goes up, so it's actually X% chance to do 1 to Y attacks. You only have 42,000 points because you missed typing first today, Smoo. Hey, Darth Maul. I like the whole 1 to Y attacks thing. And then also having the percentage go up. I think it's pretty cool. This will also like murder all of the enemies you come across. What game am I making? I'm making something called Idle Ascendants. But yeah, so that design doc kind of goes over it. I'll show you quickly what this is about. So for anyone new here, take a look at this. And I guess Travis, that includes you too. So if I make a character. I've got this warrior right now that's all kind of hard coded. Everything looks a little funky because it's all prototyped. And so like enemies are forced to move to the upper left right now. But yeah, you can move around this world map and then get into battles. And it's supposed to be sort of like old school turn-based RPGs. So we have some abilities and we pick what we want to use. So I picked this one and I attacked, 3 enemies. But as you level up, you will slowly automate this. So we have an automation skill here. When we put 4 points into this, now we're no longer controlling the character at all. So it's just picking in battle what it wants to do. And you can see the abilities go on cooldown as it uses them. And it's just randomly choosing for right now. So that's the foundation of this game, is like slowly automating out the battles and then kind of just controlling your characters. Is there a game duration time or support for X time? I don't know what you're asking, Darth Maul. Game duration time or support for X time? Yeah, I don't know what that means. Okay, so I think we want to code this. The actual coding of this is not all that hard. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say like chance for multi attacks int equals 0. Actually, I guess it's like a 5%. I guess we'll do float. So it's 0 by default, and then max number of multi attacks equals 0. I guess we can set this a 1. Is it even a multi-attack at that point? I guess 0. Okay, so do your main attack, and then we want to do more attacks. So if chance for multi-attacks is greater than 0 and max number of multi-attacks is greater than 0, then roll the dice. So if randf is less than the chance for multi-attacks, then get a number of multi-attacks that you want, var num extra attacks equals that. God, I hate having to figure out whether this actually works the way I want it to work. Oh, this should have been an int. Use remainder to obtain a random value on the interval 0 to n minus 1. 0 to n minus 1. So if this is 1, we're always generating 0 to 0. So I guess this plus 1. And then take that same target and do extra damage to it. So let's make this do 10 damage by default. This should all be controlled by some other stat or something in the future. Expected statement. Oh yeah, whoops. I see your joke in Discord. Yes, I did. I reacted to it as well. Like you said that you're not going to spend too much time on the game. Said something about 6 months. Oh. Okay, so right now we're just working on the prototype. And the goal of the prototype is find out if the game is fun. And if it is, then we pursue it. I'll need to figure out the time then for that. But the prototype, it's kind of however long it takes. My aim is for end of next week is to have it playable. And that way people can try it out and tell me if it's fun or what they think needs to be improved. And then we'll spend some time working in feedback, redesigning. Prototype is just a test phase. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I'm still making the game, but you can see I'm cutting corners in a lot of different places. So for example, whoops. Right, hang on a second. This needs to be an int. Target not declared in current scope. Oh, because of this? Oh, because there's only one target. We'll just do var target. Battle character is target 0, deal damage. There we go. We're getting there. Hold on. Yeah, so the world right now just looks like this. A green rectangle and a yellow rectangle. Like you could imagine in a real game, this would be trash. You would expect these to be real regions in a map or dungeons or something like that. So these are ways that we're cutting corners. And it's because I feel like as a player, you can envision that this is a real part of the world. But it'd be harder for you to be like, oh, now imagine the battles are fun or something, you know? Where are you releasing the game for testing? I'll probably just put up an itch page. Yeah, probably just throw it up on itch. I expect blue. There is no blue in the game yet. Blue is not allowed, so we'll get there eventually. H page? Oh, itch. Itch is what I was saying. Itch.io. So I'll throw it up on here. And that's where I put my shooter RPG that I had made. Yeehaw. Yeah, so I'll put this up there too. Okay, so rapid slash is you getting this mod. And I mean, I guess technically it's already working. We just need to test it now. Testing it is a little bit tough. For one, I never even coded this. So this is kind of stupid. All right, so chance for multi-attacks. If rapid slash is not equal to null, then chance for multi-attacks equals this thing's level times 0.05. So you get 5% per level, and the maximum number of attacks you can do will go up by 1 per level. So that means that at level 5, you'll have a 25% chance to do 1 to 5 attacks. But the way this is rolled is that it's a 25% chance rolled once. So it's actually a 25% chance to do extra attacks, and then we pick how many attacks. It's not a 25% chance rolled 5 times. And I don't know which one you would expect, but I also guess it doesn't really matter. So let's just roll it this way. Yeah, let's go try it out. It'll be a little bit tough to tell that it's even working, though. So we click slash, and we did a little bit of damage to that thing. Now we're going to put 5 points into this, and we click slash. I mean, it's only a 25% chance still, so. Oh, that time it did more damage. So it must have rolled like 3 attacks that time. And that did 1 attack. That probably did 2 attacks. I don't know. That did 1 attack. Yeah, it's very hard to tell how many it chose to do. I should have a printout. But I think it's working. And yeah, obviously this isn't balanced. But yeah, pretty cool. So that's it. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be coding a bunch of different abilities. Are the enemies attacking you? They are, but I set my life to 9999 right now. So yeah, this right here. If I were to set this back to a reasonable amount, you'd see them probably killing me. Like 500, for example. Well, they should be doing damage to me. Uh-oh. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. Maybe I broke everything. Okay, well, we'll need to figure that out. That's probably broken, though. I'll just write that down. Bug. Doesn't look like the enemies ever attack. Actually, I wonder if I could figure out really fast why that's happening. We add in the abilities here. No, not here. Where is it? Wait, I never even added slash as a... What is happening? Oh, it's called slash ability. Oh my God. All right, yeah, here. So if you are an enemy, we add debug attack ability. Does this not work? Known abilities, then equip it. Oh, I know what's happening. It is working. It's just I set the cooldown to 15 seconds. So enemies are doing this like really rarely. So now if I set it to 2 seconds, you'll see it actually work. Yeah. Okay, so that wasn't actually a bug. That was just me forgetting that I'd set the time really high. Yeah, so now they're doing damage to me. Okay. How did I learn to use Godot? So about 4 years ago, I made a course on it. I was actually just doing it on this stream. So somewhere those videos are probably on YouTube. Let me see if I can find them. Playlists. Course for Godot. Where's the learning Godot thing? Let's learn Godot engine. Yeah. So 3 years ago, it says. What was the exact date? April 23rd. Yeah, so almost exactly 4 years ago. I guess it hasn't totally ticked over to 4 years. But this playlist, I'll link it in if you want to see it. But I don't think any of it's relevant content anymore. This was Godot 3 way back in the day. And I was probably just going through some tutorial and writing notes. Do we have actual abilities yet? Yeah, kind of. I'm coding them now. So slash attacks a single target. And I can put points into it and now it has a 25% chance to do 1 to 5 attacks. And there's no way to really see that it's done the extra attacks other than to look at the life bars. So it's pretty hard to tell that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So these are doing like what, 700 damage per attack to me? I gotta work on that at some point. All right, so slash now has rapid slash working, and then we also want to do critical slash. I mean, it's going to look pretty much the exact same, but sure, fine. What are the actual characters? Kind of hard to see them. What are the characters? I don't know what you're asking there. Like, what classes are they? Or what are the sprites? The sprites are those sprites that I'm using. If you mean like what classes or what do they represent or something, there you can eventually like probably just expand the size of the game if you want. In fact, I think I already did that, and I just don't ever... Why can't I double click this? There we go. Yeah. So like you can see the characters a little better this way, I think. But yeah, there's spiders and slimes. I mean, they're not necessarily the final graphics. You'll show the damage number on the enemies. Oh, probably, yeah. I don't know if it's necessary for the prototype. Probably also need some animation stuff. Hey, Matt. Okay, so next ability we're going to do, instead of being slash mod 2, we're going to call it critical slash. It's a really stupid name for an ability, but fine. All right, so critical slash. So there's critical slash. Now we want to go search for where it gets modified. So let's get critical slash. So if you have critical slash, you get a chance for a critical hit. But it's just with slash. And it's raising the damage of, I guess, any time it deals damage. So multi-attack should also probably be able to crit. So what should your crit chance be? If critical slash 5% per level, I don't think that sounds like enough. Well, let's not worry about balance. Let's just say it's 10% per level. So now we need to say deal damage target. Oh, and pass in the battle, I guess. Oh, and this needs to be like that. Excuse me. All right, so func deal damage. We take in a battle and a target, and we deal damage. Yeah, there we go. So the reason I needed this to be its own function is because here's where we're going to add in a critical strike chance. So if rand is less than chance for critical, which I guess just goes down to here now, then we multiply it by 2, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really worried about balance, as I just mentioned. Not yet. So what is this going to do? Every time you deal damage, there's a chance exclusive to that hit for a critical attack. Yeah. I realize how good the camera. Yeah, I know. Well, I've used 3 different cameras in my time streaming. The really, really old one was from, it's like a, it was like a 720p maximum, if even that. I don't even think it was that good of resolution. And then the second one I used was a 1080p webcam. That's now the keyboard camera, this one that you see here. And now there's, of course, a real camera. Okay, so let's test this. I think the easiest way to test it is to set the damage to like 5 times when you critical hit. So we're gonna, what broke? Oh, because it's called battle character. Wait, what happened here? Oh, battle character, yeah. This is in use. Okay, we could just pass in the critical strike chance. That's actually a better way of doing things anyway. Yeah. Chance for critical. Okay, so deal damage. Just needs to pass in chance for critical. Okay. Let's go test it. All right, so slash unmodified should just do 10 damage, which is 10% of the bar. Now we're gonna give it 5 points, and that's a 50% chance to do 5 times the damage. So that was not a critical hit. That was a critical hit. So yeah, so we have critical hits. Now we can combine that with the first mod and get up to 5 attacks, all of which could be crits, but they're all on the same enemy. So if any of them crit, you're probably just going to kill the enemy immediately. And it's pretty much impossible to tell whether this is working. But if any enemy goes from like full life to 0, then we'll know for sure. It's pretty hard to tell. I guess let's just print this out. Or you know what we'll do? Let's just make it so that as you level this thing up, you get a 25% chance to rapid slash. Okay, so now you're guaranteed to always rapid slash when you max this skill, and then we are almost guaranteed to crit when we max that one. So let's see. So yeah, that did more than half damage there. And that also did more than half. Oh, that totally killed the enemy. Yeah. So not balanced. Again, not worried about balance. Combat text would make this easier. It would, definitely. Yeah. I agree. All right, so I think we're just going to add in 2 mods per thing. Yeah. Hey, first of birth, thanks. I just output the value, doesn't seem right. It is, I'm pretty sure it's correct. So here's how it's working. It's a 25% chance to do multiple attacks. And when you do multiple attacks, it picks 1 to 5 extra attacks. So it's possible every time that it's picking 1 extra attack. And 1 extra attack would just do 10 damage. So yeah, we'll need some proper testing at some point, but I think it's just the balance is really stupid for this. Oh, wait. This is stupid. Never mind. Sorry. It could have picked 0 attacks. Yeah, so that was broken. Yeah, whoops. Okay, this should have been this plus 1. In fact, let's just do a maximum of 1 in that. I think that'll be easier. Yeah, I know about debug menus. I mean, I don't think it's a like a specific concept. It's just adding debug controls to your game. Did I actually add a pudding command? I don't remember that. No, I didn't. Okay. Okay, so do we want to add in this one? This would involve adding in a debuff, which we don't have right now in the game. So I'd have to add something that says like take 1 damage per second. It's not that hard to do something like this, I guess. I kind of want to do it. Adam ruining the joke. I might have missed the chat message. Or I made the joke because Gluskov said got him. All right, I think I take back everything I said earlier. I think I do want to make the debuff system. And we'll just have it be really, really simple at first. All right. Let me remove this mat for now. Because I want to sit down. There we go. How about a bleed effect where when it's active, they have an increased chance to take more damage? I think something like that could be cool. I think I kind of already made something like that for the rogue, except for it's not a bleed effect exactly. It was... No, maybe I didn't make something like that. But yeah, some debuff that makes the enemy take more damage. Excuse me. When prototyping, it'll be very, very messy. It doesn't have to get messy, though. Here's what I'm thinking is the fastest possible way. Fastest way to make the bleed effect work would be keep track of debuffs on the enemy, just like hard code a type. So like 0 is going to be damage over time, I guess. And then give it damage per second and a duration. Hey, Superman. So ideally, you'd want like a well thought out system that keeps track of like who gave you the debuff, and they could have all sorts of different effects. But if all we're trying to do is get this to work, then yeah, I don't think this should be too bad. Also, I think this is a bad idea. Chance to make the enemy bleed over time. I think it should just always be enemy bleeds over time for X damage over Y seconds. And Y might not even be a variable. Maybe Y is just like 3 or 5. Something like that. All right, let's go code it. I like the idea. So fine, dire slash. So we need to search for slash mod 3. And we'll call this dire slash good. Is your plan to have different levels of each ability? Probably the only reason to have it as a variable. Yeah, the plan is to have different levels of abilities, excuse me. The reason why it might not be a good idea to have it as a variable is because damage over time is always a little bit weird. Like if you do 10 damage over 1 second, you're doing 10 damage per second, of course. If you're doing 20 damage over 2 seconds, you're still doing 10 damage per second, but you're doing it for longer. So it could be better in some circumstances and might not be better in other circumstances. It's like if fights only last for 5 seconds and you have a damage over time that lasts for 15, then you're kind of just wasting damage. Which ID do I use? I use VS Code. Check out the FAQ, which is going to be very slow to respond. There we go. Popular pattern in Godot is to make these things as a node with a script attached, doing things to its parent. Yeah, and I think when we like fully code the buffer debuff system, we could do something like that. Am I utilizing custom resources? And if so, how much and for what? I'm not sure what people mean when they say custom resources in Godot. Let me take a look at what the terminology is for this. Not for any of these other than scripts, I guess. What do you mean though, Krezon? Basically data containers? Let me find, where did I do this already? Because I did something that was sort of close to this. I guess abilities are essentially like that. These aren't nodes, they're just classes that exist. But again, I don't know the Godot parlance to know if this is what is considered a custom resource. With automation, isn't really everything in the character's kit a damage over time? I mean, not exactly because of the rules of the battle. Picture in an old turn-based game, you can still have damage over time, and whether you're manually controlling or not doesn't really make a difference. But yeah, I guess in a philosophical sense, like if you're not directly controlling the game and you're going to win the battle anyway, does it change much? Just extend resource and export variables. Okay, no, I guess I haven't done that then. I haven't extended resource. Where did I leave off with this? Saying I was going to do this? Oh yeah, I never named these things. Rapid slash, critical slash, and dire slash. Those should appear in the skill tree like that, if I did this correctly. Let's see. Yep, there they are. Rapid slash, dire slash, and critical slash. Okay. And then we do want descriptions. I kind of want to add those into the game as well. I guess I'm going to write this here. I'll say at least 2 mods per ability. Get the passive ability system to work. That's already kind of done. Show somewhere the percent that it increases. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we're going to make a really rudimentary debuff system. Add a rudimentary debuff system. So in the case that you have dire slash, let's go over to slash ability. It's not called slash ability, it's called slash. This is why this is super confusing. And then we want to get your dire slash. Now, how should this work? I feel like there should be a one chance to do this, or it's guaranteed. Maybe it's guaranteed. Yeah, I'd rather it be guaranteed. So it's just make the enemy bleed for X damage over time. Yeah. So if you have it, it's going to do the extra damage. Dire slash. So if dire slash is not equal to null, then we're going to say like target. I guess we put this down here. Target dot apply debuff, something like that. I don't know. Bleed dot new. Wouldn't really work that way though. Bar bleed equals bleed dot new. Bleed dot, yeah, duration or something, and bleed dot damage. I don't know. Not thinking about this too much. So there are some other game design questions to ask before we can really do this, which is what happens if you get multiple bleeds? Does the damage stack, or does the duration stack, or does nothing happen? Like, does the duration reset? I guess it's one of these three, right? You could technically stack both of these. And I think resetting the duration in this case would probably make sense. You could have this work anyway. Stacking damage is technically more realistic. Realism does not factor into this very much. I wonder what's the most expected. I think that's what probably factors into this. What do people expect when this happens? And I think it doesn't really matter what's expected if you communicate clearly enough through the game. So like if you see an icon or something over the character, and if it were to stack all of these, that you see just multiple icons, for example. So I guess this doesn't matter too much. I think for the sake of gameplay, for damage over time to make sense, it shouldn't just be that the damages all stack on top of each other. So I think I want to go for one of these two. And then the other question you get into is what happens if there's a different power of debuffs on the same enemy? And I don't think this is a consideration yet. Like, this wouldn't be possible yet. Yeah, what happens if you had upgraded your bleed ability mid-battle? Actually, I guess it is for that reason. Well, maybe if they're the same damage or something, then it would stack. Or maybe it's the same source. I don't know. I don't think it's matters. I think we'll just pick something, and then we can always change it later. Again, that'll play into the balance. So for the debuff system, let's just go make something for now. So what you were writing last week, yeah. I think it's a pretty common thing in any game that has like a combat system similar to this. Or actually, lots of games have buffs and debuffs even if they don't have a combat system like this. So I guess we'd put this into abilities. Maybe we make a debuff section or something. New folder. We'll say like status effects. Huh, interesting. I don't think I've ever made a folder in a Godot project where I've wanted to make a space. I wonder what I've done in other projects. Can I not search for this? Huh. I just want to see what looks good. Well, whatever. Underscore it is. Not going to spend too long on that. All right, so we're going to call this status effects. And we're going to make something in here. New file, bleed.gd. So in this particular case, I should have thought about this for longer. Okay, let's think about that then. Character data. We've got your abilities, your known abilities, etc. We want, I guess, battle character is what has status effects, unless they last outside of a battle as well, which for now we're just going to say they don't. So we have things like time until turn. We can keep track of debuffs here and make this an array of debuffs, for example. But then they need to have some effect. So let's say we're to lower your attack, for example. Then anytime you do anything, we need a way of getting like computed attack value or something. And so there'd be something when you apply the debuff and when you remove the debuff. So maybe that's how this should work. Maybe debuffs are all a class that has like an apply and a remove. Or yeah, on debuff start or something like that. And on debuff end. And they could override whatever they want. I suppose we could have like an on time elapsed. And this is, we try to call this like once every second. I think this can work. So then let me think about this. We'd have like a class name bleed with on time elapsed. Have a delta. And this would need to know what its target is. So I guess when we initialize it, we'd probably pass in a target. No, you need to know the battle as well that we're in. Yeah, battle window. All right, so we'll just write pass here to do store this stuff. I'm just sketching all this out for right now. So on time elapsed, we could say target dot deal damage. I guess when we initialize this, we'd probably initialize it with the damage. And then a time. This could be a float. Time remaining. And then this minus equal delta. And then if time remaining is less than or equal to 0, target dot remove debuff. Yeah, something like this. What would make this feasible to pick over the other abilities? So there are going to be a lot of considerations in the final game, but none of them are really super important. Like the game is just supposed to be a chill game. But for example, the types of damage you deal, the number of enemies that there are, the number of targets, etc. So like if we just look at the kit that we have here, we have a single target direct physical damage attack. Then we have the same sort of thing, but more powerful and a chance to miss. And then the warrior itself has a passive, which is enemies that are close to death are automatically killed. So like you might level this up and get this to the point where I'm just gonna make up a number here. It gets to like 20%. So now damage over time is actually really interesting because if a damage over time ability can bump you from 22% down to 20%, it's as good as killing you. So like maybe now that's much better, but like maybe, I don't know, the numbers don't work out in that way. And the slash ability is better or something. So yeah, that is mostly a question and answer for later. And for right now, we just need them to be like different enough. All right, APX. Welcome to the safe haven. Does it have a remove debuff? And this one happens to override on time elapsed, and not all of them would have to. And then each battle character needs to go through its list of debuffs and call on time elapsed for it. Okay, I can see the system working, and that's it. That's all I need is for the system to work. We don't need this to be very smart. We do need some way of figuring out how this stacks or if this stacks. So on debuff start probably passes in the, I don't know, maybe here is where we like figure out if we want to stack something or just not even apply this debuff. I'm not sure. But like I said, I think this is probably good enough. Yeah. I'm not convinced, but I've struggled with this so much. I keep saying this is a prototype, and yet my instinct is to code like correctly. And yet for the prototype, the entire point is just get something working. That's it. And the entire reason why is because the game might not be fun, and like none of this code will have mattered if the game isn't fun. So sure, let's just get started on this. So status effects, I'll add a new file there, and we'll just call this. Actually, no, we have it in base. I guess I'll add an debuff here. Assuming you add damage reduction debuffs, I guess what you want is base attack damage / effective attack damage. Yeah. Something like that would be pretty important. And I have ideas for how I'll do this stuff, but yeah, I haven't actually done it yet. So we'll need to figure out once we get to it. Hey, yo. All right, let's copy in all of this. This is going to be debuff. Ability didn't need to extend from something, right? No, I think it implicitly extends from... Oh, actually, I think it does implicitly extend resource. Because or no, maybe reference... I don't know what. It's going to say reference counted object or something. Yeah, ref counted, yeah. All right, so debuff has an idea of a time remaining. It could be infinite, but I think all debuffs are going to be based on time. At the very least, that's how we're starting this. So we pass in the time remaining val, then the battle and the target. Sure, now let's store all this. So we're just going to copy paste all of this and then do one of these and then make these vars and then store them all. All right. Equals, no, there. Okay, so all that stuff stored. Time remaining exists twice, so delete that. All right, so on time elapsed, this is not going to be anything right now. We're just going to write pass. Why is this not, oh, because the previous function hasn't been written. Let's not even write that out, I guess. Plain SQL inside view function, straightforward, faster write, faster rewrite. Typing the first thing that comes to mind might not be the worst strategy. I think it can bite you in team settings sometimes, but yeah, I at least think there should be some thought that goes into what you're doing, especially if you know the requirements ahead of time. A lot of what I'm doing here, the very nature of a prototype is like, we think we know the requirements, but we're pretty sure they're going to change somehow. I generally think debuffs and buffs are too much as well, which is why we're trying to code this pretty much as quickly as possible. And I don't think this is going to take too long. I think we can probably get done with this general thing soon-ish. So just like we had active ability extend from ability, we're going to make the bleed effect extend from debuff. And then I guess make an init that calls into this stuff. Debuff should have had underscore in it for this. And then bleed is going to override. Let me just close out of some of these things. Oh my goodness. I opened a lot of tabs. All right, let's just close everything. All right, so debuff and bleed. All right, so in our case, we want this same general thing here. Time remaining val. So in the case of bleed, I guess we wanted to just pass in a damage per second and time remaining. And yeah, these two things. And call super on time remaining, battle and target, and store off the damage. Yeah. Okay, then we're going to override this function and have this do the whole like target dot deal damage. I don't know where we even did this. I'll look at slash for a reference. Battle dot deal damage is what it was. Okay, and then time remaining is in debuff. Actually, this shouldn't have to do anything. I guess this should do it. So this should just call super delta. Yeah, and debuffs can know how long they have left. If time remaining is less than or equal to 0, we'll say like, sure, target dot remove debuff self. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. Isn't coding in front of chats making you want to write better or smarter? I know to pressure me for sure. That's not the pressure I have. The pressure is purely just I want to make this better, and I keep fighting that it's a prototype. You intentionally write bad code to trigger backseaters. All right, now battle character is going to have a list of debuffs, which I guess we already do. And we're going to have an add debuff and remove debuff, or apply and remove. Apply debuff. So debuffs.append, and then we need to do something there. And then we're going to have, what's the other one? Remove debuff? Remove debuff. Yeah, debuff. This is not correct code. Should be by reference. Okay, so we have this. I think that's good. All right, and then we need to apply damage to this thing, which I never did. Oh, no, we don't do that here. There are some edge cases that exist here that, again, I'm not going to worry about, but like what happens if you had, 0.01 seconds left on this thing? Technically, that's going to count for a whole other tick. I'm like, should it? If we set this to 5 seconds, will it actually get 5 ticks off somehow? I don't know. Oh, actually, this whole on time elapsed is already a problem, right? Because we're technically just going to end up dealing damage every single time, even like a millisecond, or not a millisecond, a frame passes. So we'll need to call this. I'll just write this to do call only every second. Yeah. Use a timer is definitely a good idea for this. Or just use a timer. Your thoughts on what success would mean for this version? Success is, I think, if enough people are like, yes, this is fun, or are giving positive feedback, it's very much going to be qualitative. I don't think I'm going to base it on like number of minutes played in the game or something, because I don't think that matters too much. So yeah. And I was saying this earlier, but I'm hoping that by the end of next week, we can actually have this be playable by everybody. That's my goal. That does not mean that's what's going to happen. But if that does happen, then yeah, end of next week, there'd be a website. You can just go to it, play the game, and then some other website you can go to and provide feedback. Am I able to move using the keyboard or mouse in the game? Right now, it's all just mouse based. Although you press S to open up your skill tree because there's just no UI for it yet. Okay. So now during battle, this never gets updated at all. Well, that's fun. I guess it shouldn't have its own update because I think the battle should tell it to update because the battle can be paused. Yes. So where is it? Here, process characters. So we go through each character and we do time until turn, delta. Yeah. So this should be some like battle process function. I want to do, I guess I'll just say battle character dot battle process delta. Yeah, a little bit weird. I just want to get this functional first, and then we'll think about this in a bit. All right, so basically just go through every debuff you have. In debuffs, debuff.process. It's really debuff.on time elapsed. All right, so there. Now this will do practically infinite damage because of how I coded this so far. But I think it should work, actually. Let's go try it out. And as I mentioned, this is going to do way, way too much damage, so don't worry about that. So damage val is set in bleeds and knit, and then bleed needs all these other things here. So I guess really what we're doing is we're passing this all into new in slash. Where's slash? Here it is. Okay, so damage val is the first one. So we're going to set it to 1 because it's going to do like a crazy amount of damage. We're going to have it last for, I guess, 1 second. So it should do 60 damage, I think. And we're going to pass in the battle and then the target. Oh, this isn't actually necessary, is it? No, this, oh, darn it. I don't know. I don't know how I want to do this. All right, well, something like this. Is Copilot being actively retrained? I'm asking because I'm not sure if it's suitable for Godot 4. I think it's, every once in a while, it does something weird where, like, I've written code a bunch of times, and it's just like, nah, I'm going to ignore that. So, yeah, I think what Codex shared is probably about how it works underneath, but it's still not perfect, even just in terms of what context you give it. Yeah. All right, I think this will work. Yeah, I think this will work. We need to make sure damage over time gets paused correctly. There's a whole lot going on here. All right, let's just try this. All right, so we need to put a point into dire slash. I need to press slash, and there, look, damage over time. Oh, it worked. I think that just completely worked. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's, like I said, though, it's doing way too much damage. It's 1 damage every frame. Okay, but it should test that when the battles are paused, it's working correctly. So somewhere here we have the number 100 is life value, right? Oops, I gotta search for regex. Where is life? Here. No, not there. Here. Okay, so let's set the max life to 1,000. And then let's set the duration of this thing to 10. So here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna deal 2.5 times 60. It'll deal about 150 damage and then hopefully pause, because it'll be someone else's turn at that point. So we get dire slash and we click this button. I didn't see that do anything. Oh, wait, there. I guess it was just really, yeah, interesting. It's just harder to see because it's the enemy life bars are bigger. Yeah, so you can see it's doing damage to all of these, but it does properly pause. Nice. Nice. Working. Yeah, nice. Okay, so then we gotta do this after the break. Yeah, I'll just write. Yeah, I'm super happy with this. Okay, so where I left off, need debuffs to apply damage once per second. Look into a timer maybe. And then what was the other thing? Need to rebalance debuff damage, and need to figure out how I want stacking to work. Maybe just don't worry about this for now. Okay. What's the goal of the prototype? People enjoying it? I would say the goal is figure out if people enjoy it, and not, or people will enjoy it, or would. Like, there's a proper exact phrasing of this, but essentially it's, does this game have any value? Like, should I make it? So let's say I was like, you know what would be cool is if I made Mario Brothers, but you can't run and you can't jump. And it's like, well, that sounds like a stupid game. And so you probably don't need a prototype it to find out it's a stupid game. But, imagine you said something like, okay, Mario, but all you can do is walk or something like that. In prototyping, you'd realize, okay, this isn't fun, but here's what I need to do. There's always a way you can go from a bad game to a good game because you can always just totally change genres or something, right? Like any game can turn into Minecraft if you make it voxel graphics and open world and infinitely generated. That's not what we're looking at here. What we're looking at here is, can this idea of idle ascendants turn into something that, my goodness, I can't write anything. I really need to take my break. Can this turn into something that's worthwhile to make? Mario Land Armless Edition. Wouldn't it be legless edition if you can't run or jump? He doesn't really use his arms for anything other than shooting fireballs. Oh, places bombs. I see. Yeah, you do need your arms for that. Okay, well, anyway, I'm going to take my break. When we come back, we'll finish this stuff. Is it jump time? It's jump time. All right. Close the game. Let's get back to where we left off. If close the game would actually work. I swear, this is getting worse and worse. Let me try one more time. Close the game. There. No point having voice commands if I need to say them like 3 times. All right, so applying once per second. Yell louder and slower. Yell in capital letters. So Godot timers. Used to be you had to add this to the scene tree. I don't think you do anymore. And I think I've already even used these recently. I'm not sure. Oh, thanks, Easy. Yeah. To create it without instantiating a node, use scene tree.create timer. Yeah. Okay, so how does this work? Let's go find out. So when we apply a debuff, I guess we're doing this in a battle character here. Where's apply debuff here? Okay. So I think we do get tree.create timer. Yeah, that's a thing. All right, now the time in seconds. So debuff dot. No. What is the time? The tick time? Time sec. What is that? Did I miss that? What is time sec? Oh, used to create a one-shot delay timer. Oh, I see. So it's always going to be 1. Okay. And then process always. What does process always mean? If it's false, pausing the scene tree will also pause the timer. I don't ever pause the scene tree, though. I guess false. Okay, then what's the next one? Process in physics. It's set to true. It'll update during the physics frame instead of the process frame. I guess false. And ignore timescale. I don't want it to ignore the timescale. All right, so I think this is what I want. So I could technically just get rid of these 2 and just say 1 comma false. I think it should be good. So what I could do is I could add a 1-second timer every time the debuff applies. I think that's actually a pretty good way of doing things. Yeah. In which case process, that's fine, whatever. Okay, so this is what, a timer, scene tree timer, scene tree timer. So we say timer, scene tree timer equals this. All right, and when this is ready, what do we like await the timeout, or do I have to add a signal? We could just await it, I suppose. But I think adding a signal might be best. Where'd the timer thing go? Is stopped. Signals, timeout. Here it is, timeout. Actually, do I want to do this? Maybe I do just want to await its timeout. Await timer dot timeout. So after a second, what we want to do is we want to call its on time elapse thing. Actually, wait a second. This won't work at all, will it? I would need to pause scene nodes, and I'm not doing that. Because battles play out, but they can be paused waiting for manual input. And yeah, I think the proper way of doing that would be to pause an entire node. I'm guessing you can just say something like paused or bleed.paused equals true. Yeah, I don't think I want to do this. I think I'll just delete this. I'm going to put this in the scratch section just in case I end up wanting that. But yeah, so the way that I think this is going to work instead then is we're going to go to battle character. Okay, so instead of on time elapsed, actually, I guess this could be fine. And I guess all we want to do is have the debuff emit when this thing is ready. Yeah, okay, you can just keep track of that. Actually, does it even matter? I don't know how I feel about this stuff. Whatever, we just got to get it workable. That's all. So like, time elapsed float. All right, so time remaining and then time elapsed plus equal delta. And if time elapsed is greater than 1, then time elapsed minus equal 1. Minus equal 1. And then it would like proc, I guess. Target dot, or I'll just say proc. There, done. Okay, so now func proc void pass. Cool. That's it. Now in bleed, this is just proc. Okay, so now it should do 1 damage per second, which is going to be like very, very hard to tell that it's even done something. So let's put it back to 100 life. How much damage is it doing? Where did I make bleed? Here it is. So 1 damage per second for 1 second. Yeah, let's have it be 5 damage per second for 3 seconds. And let's have slash do 0 damage. So now it's only the damage over time that's doing damage. And let's restart this and make sure it's working. Okay, so we get dire slash and then we hit slash. Okay, cool. So it's not dealing damage while it's paused, but it did deal damage properly, I think. A little bit hard to tell. Okay, next, let's make it so that this lasts for 60 seconds. And now let's play out the battle and see what happens when they stack. So the first enemy targeted is always going to be one at full life. But then the second one targeted... Wait, what happened? It's seemingly... Oh, of course, I didn't put a point in the skill. Okay, so I'm going to die before we get to see what happens in this fight. But I wanted to hit the same enemy multiple times. So far, no. The 5th enemy. Okay, yeah. So that one at the top has been hit twice. So it should be going at twice the amount of damage per second. Yeah, it looks like it is. Okay, I think that's fine for now. Again, balance-wise, this is messed up, but who cares? So we'll have it do 5 damage per second for... I don't know, I'd rather the damage over time be slightly longer. So let's start at 10 seconds. And we'll have it do 2 damage per second. Yeah, there. And that's it. That's our debuff system. So we have coded almost everything that Dire Slash needed. The thing we haven't done is make it change based on level. So yeah, what do we want that to do? It's doing 2 damage per second right now. To go up to 3 damage is a really big boost. So maybe this should be a float. Yeah, it should be a float. Is life a float? Did I do that? Or is it sinking? Oh man, they're integers. I think we have to make these floats. Finally get around to playing the FF7 remake. Limit breaks. Limit breaks would actually probably be pretty cool. Can we use generative AI inside Godot for generating dialogues or generating? Yeah, sure. You can just call into arbitrary web APIs if you want to. So, I mean, that's typically how you do the simplest form of an AI-based game. You probably want the models to be local eventually, but yeah. Yeah, I just can't see this. Can't see this working otherwise. You can't go from 2 damage to 3 damage, or else it's a 50% boost. So you'd want to go from like 2 to 2.4, and then the only way to do that is with floating point numbers, or to multiply everything by 10. And then your max life is like 1,000, and I don't want to start the values too high. Got a weird message on your phone today. Is it possible to find out who the person is? I don't know if it's possible, but unless you're like positive the person knows you and proved that they knew you, then it's probably just spam getting sent out to everybody. Maybe a response delay. I mean, there's probably going to be a response delay anyway. It's just a question of how long will it be. Like the AI responses won't be instantaneous even if they're local. Could change tick rate. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, actually, I don't know what I want to do for this. But I think we're just going to set these to floats for now. And I think this is fine. And if we ever render them in the UI, we just need to make sure that we're rendering them as rounded numbers. So this affects everything because now these turn into floats. Deal damage turns into floats. Then character data's life, that's already a float. Is there anywhere else that I have damage and then the word int around it? Open an editor and search for int. Number of attacks, don't care. That is wrong. So slash. So slash is all we need to modify. So we set this to a float. And now the bleed effect is going to be bar. What's the level of this thing? Ah, here it is. Yeah. Damage equals dire slash level times, I don't know, 0.5 plus 2. Again, not balancing. Cannot stress that enough. So yeah, it'll always be over 10 seconds. Damage is a float. There we go. Message comes from a random iCloud account. Yeah, I would just ignore it. It's almost certainly someone whose account was, taken over or whatever because they weren't secure with their password or they got hacked or something, and then they're just sending out sending messages to everybody else. Okay, so whoops, didn't mean to click outside of that. All right, so we get a point in dire slash. So it's going to do 2 damage per second for 10 seconds. So that's taking 2 damage per second. Now we're going to put 5 points into this, and it's going to do, I don't remember what I typed. So 4.5 damage per second for 10 seconds. So this one should be taking, yeah, they should be roughly the same life, but then this next attack will differentiate them even more. This one should be taking more. It's very hard to tell because of how tiny the damage differences are. I'm guessing it's working though. We could make it much more obvious by just changing this to be like 5.5. There. So now first enemy we attack takes 2 damage per second. Next enemy we attack takes like 30 damage per second. I actually don't think that worked. Yeah, I think the first time it dealt damage was not correct. What's going on there then? Huh, that's very interesting. Apply debuff, target, battle character. Apply debuff just appends it. And then in process, we check on time elapsed. And if the debuff itself elapsed the full amount, then we go to do this much damage to the target. What is going on? Is slash doing damage? Oh, slash is doing damage. Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, then that's what's going on. I thought I turned that to 0. Maybe I set it back up to 10 at some point. Oh man, I keep forgetting that I gotta put points into this thing. Okay, it's there. That one's taking 2 damage per second, and this one's gonna take whatever, like 25 or 50 or whatever I said. Yeah, good, it's working. Cool. Cool. And that's it. We coded the entire slash kit, right? Yeah. I mean, there's not too much differentiation between rapid slash and critical slash. And that might make for some unfun time. Is this an MMO? No, it's a single player game. All right, so the next thing would be sweeping arc. But I think we should probably check in what we've done so far. So oh yeah, we got to do this too. And this part's done. Okay, so let's check in what I've done for that. And then I will go make the skill tree show what we've done here. Yeah, we're good. Battle process delta, yeah. I want to close Godot completely. What is this? What is this window? You can't even see this window. What is this? I don't even know. Force quit. Okay, well, now it's dead. Let's go reopen Godot. I was trying to close it. There was a second window. I didn't know what it was. So now I'm hoping that all these underlines go away, all the squigglies. For them not to is concerning. Okay, good. Yeah, we fixed it. Only problem is this one. Num extra attacks is declared but never used. Oh my goodness. This is why we weren't seeing damage rise. Oh my god. We never used this value. We were only dealing damage once no matter what. All right, now multi-slash or whatever I call it, rapid slash should be like way better. Yeah, and this should be toned down. I don't care about the particulars. I'm not even gonna test it, in fact. We'll test it out at some point. All right, life is now floating point values. That stuff all looks good. So give the warrior their actual abilities. The descriptions are wrong. We'll fix that next. This doesn't need to be checked in. In fact, you know what? Why don't we check this in now? Should we? Or get rid of it? Like this way, now the enemies will just randomly walk around instead of always going toward me. Which makes it harder to get into a battle when you're trying to get into a battle. This is pretty cool. Definitely want some way of telling which enemies have been affected by your bleed effect. Yeah, also I like the damage over time being in real time. I think that's nice. Crush seems like... Oh, wait. Oh, Crush does have a 100% chance to miss right now. I mean, an ability that does literally nothing. Yeah, whoops. This was supposed to be 0.2. Okay, that's some balance we wanted to change. Yeah, now it works. Okay. Let's kill that enemy and then crush this last one. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Maybe walk randomly at a distance. Yeah, that's something like that's. I want to do that eventually, but not yet, and not for all enemies. What are those errors? Local variable disable buttons. Oh yeah, I never did this. Is this intended that the enemies are walking over your UI controls? No, I just haven't fixed that yet. And it's not even that hard to fix. I've just been doing like nonstop other stuff. Yeah, it would be nice to have floating damage text. I agree. Yeah, and a small square with a bleed icon. Yep, exactly. I plan on doing this stuff eventually, or something to communicate that this stuff is happening. I don't know how we would do it in a battle window that small, because there are 9 enemies in a battle. So if we get into a fight, it's like, where would you even put the icons? You need to expand the battle window. You need to have like probably really tiny icons. Alternatively, you could show some kind of effect on the spider itself, or maybe hovering over it would tell you what it's got. I don't know. Well, I'll figure that out later. To some extent, I feel like I'm going to have to predict what people are going to say and then address that ahead of time so I don't keep getting the same feedback. Like, wow, damage numbers would really be great. And I'm not saying don't give me that feedback now. I get it. I'm proceeding with this prototype as fast as possible. All right, so this is now done. So this is called every frame. This is called from process. So it's called very often. I'll just say from some form of process. Yeah, changing their health bar or something. That's definitely possible. But then you need different colors for like every single debuff you might have. You know, maybe there's poison and bleed and, you know, a damage down debuff or something. So there's a lot to consider there that I need to figure out how I want to communicate. But yeah, slash has been coded. And I like that it's all contained in here. This is really nice. Because it's not like we ended up putting this in the battle logic or something. It only affects slash, so it should only be in slash. Sweeping arc, I'm going to tone down. If slash is doing 10 damage and this attacks 3 targets, it probably shouldn't be doing, what is it, 195 damage? It should probably be doing like 8. Oh, also, nothing modifies that ability yet. And crush technically hasn't been fully coded. Okay, so let's go check in the stuff that actually matters here, which is that, this, 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 not this one, not this one. Yeah, crush I wanted there. This one, sure, this, and this. Okay, so add warrior abilities. I only added the mods for slash so far. Okay, show the percent per level that this increases. This should get pulled from the ability itself. So right now I have a description somewhere. Yeah, a basic attack that deals physical damage to a single target. So if I want to show you how much this increases by, I guess what we could do, let me try something. So if I go to slash, and then I put a static, or const testosterone equals 5. Can we, or whatever, like hello world, can we use this from here? I don't know if you can. Identifier slash not declared in current scope. I guess it's technically slash ability. No, you can. So I should see hello world now on the main, whatever screen it is. Oh yeah, cool. Okay, well if we can do that, then I can just put these as static somewhere in there. Or constants, I mean. Hey, Bressel. How goes guitar? Okay, just checking something. All right. So where do I want to put this stuff? I guess where we had it is fine, but I just need to actually name them properly. So const, what are we doing here? Critical slash chance per level equals 0.1. So now we replace this. And then rapid slash chance per level is that. That's fine. And then rapid slash max attacks per level equals 1. Played a song I was learning. Yeah, nice. Awesome. I think it's going great then. And congrats on sticking with it. And so now we need to go replace these values. This is technically times this, I guess. Yeah. All right, and then the last one here was dire slash damage per level and dire slash base damage. So base damage per level. All right, are there any other magic numbers here? I guess we have the duration. Yeah, dire slash duration equals 10. Anything else? The base damage of slash, I suppose. But I'm not very concerned about that. It is way higher than 0. Yeah. Plus, you know, you might end up doing 8 minutes one day and an hour some other day. So we always get one target. We set all our chances to this stuff. Yeah, so now we just need to include these into here. Ooh-wee. All right, where are we putting this? Rapid slash, critical slash, dire slash. Yeah, so. Okay, rapid slash. Adds a percent F percent. Is that how you do this? Chance to attack? I'm going to just try this. Yeah, let's see how this works. And then we want this to be slash ability dot whatever rapid slash chance per level times 100. Yeah. And then we probably want to write, no, that's probably fine. 2 new Jump Royale features today. Wow, nice. Are you submitting PRs? Because I haven't seen any emails about it. Okay, I'm pretty sure this description shows nowhere. And I think that's a problem. I think we need to get it to show somewhere. In the new game. You say the new game, and I've heard you say this before, but what does that mean? Is this like Jump Royale 2, or is this a completely different repo, or? All right, this label text here. Somewhere we have, whoops, I didn't mean to start that. Did I just stop that? Yes, I think. Yeah, somewhere we have a rich text label. Why do I keep doing that? I'll just search for rich text. There we go. Yeah, here it is. So here is the, to do right what the skill does. Yeah, so let's have it print out the description, I guess. Description. All right, how's that? New code base, technically a new game. Interesting. And Borgaman, thanks for summon. Welcome. What did I mess up? I typed description. Yeah, I realized that as I did it. All right, so now, whoop. Oh wait, I typed it wrong in both cases? Ah, yes. All right, and I don't want the game to show me the title screen anymore. Okay, so here we go. Adds a 5.0000000% chance to attack. Cool damage attack. I forgot I wrote that. Oh man, you can do a lot of cool damage in this game. All right, where's the percent thing that we had? Because that's clearly not what I wanted. Yeah, this. I think you do like 0.2F. Does that work? I can't tell. Yeah, that works. Hey, Sean. Okay, so I like that it says what it adds. I think this is a garbage description still. So what is it that this thing does? Chance to do multiple attacks on the same target. Adds a chance. I guess we could say what the current chance is. Oh, this is where we need to take in your character info, though. Which means this really needs to be a function. All right, for now, I don't think we're going to worry about this. Yeah. Adds a percent chance per level to attack up to... this is stupid. Oh, man, I don't want to spend the time... Like, this should take in a level and then show you what the current chance is. But for it to do that means that, like I said, it needs to be a function. Maybe you can put a function here. I forgot how GDScript does lambdas again. Where? Here. Func X print X. Okay, what if we put that there then? This is gonna so totally break. But we're gonna take in a level, I suppose, which is an integer. All right, and then what is the description that I wanted here? What keyboard is that? It's a corn keyboard. Check out the corn command. It's not gonna work. I broke it. You ever start doing a project and like halfway in you realize how big of a task it really is? Yeah, usually it's more like on the feature level. Sorry, not you, it's me. I broke a command that I was supposed to use. There you go. Yeah, usually it's on the feature level that I realize that something's more work than I thought. Like this, I knew was going to be a lot of work. I think, yeah, I don't know. We got a lot to do. All right, so chance to do multiple attacks on the same target. Adds a chance to do multiple attacks on the same target. This is also kind of weird. What am I trying to write here? Let's just write out some numbers. Adds a 5% chance to do 1 to 5 attacks. An extra 1 to 5 attacks on the target. Yeah, okay, that's what I want to say. So adds a chance to do an extra this many slashes on the same target. Okay, so this is 2% D slashes. Technically, there should be some special scenario where it's not saying 1 to 1, because that look a little bit weird. And 1 slashes, but I'm not going to do that yet either. All right, so then this chance is going to be how do we do this? What's the chance of it being 1 versus 5? Should be written as well. That is just an even distribution. And if these things aren't clear in the final game, I think we can change them. But for now, I'm just trying to get like the fastest possible way through something that's like moderately accurate. They may say 1 to 1. Yeah, but it would be nice to just say 1 slash and have a special consideration for it. Still, I'm not going to do that right now. So adds a %.2f percent chance to do an extra 1 to % D slashes on the target. Okay, good. So we're going to say the current amount, which is going to be this times level. And we'll say %.2f percent per level to do an extra 1 to % D slashes plus 1 per level. All right, this is definitely written out weirdly, but there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, yeah, this should be %D. Okay. Now, what are we writing out here? We need max attacks per level to be here and here. Okay, there's our whole entire thing. This is ridiculous. So now what's the problem with this? I probably need to say return and that this returns a string. And now we need a closing parenthesis here. No, we shouldn't need a closing parenthesis. These should just be in an array. All right, now identifier is not declared because these all come from slash ability. Oh, how fun. All right, there. That should all work. Now, let's go check in skill tree if the description is a function. So we're going to say this is a variant. And we're going to say description text, which is a string, is equal to description. But if description is function, then description text equals call it. Yeah. All right, now how do you test this in Godot? Can you say is function? come on. GD script test if variant is function. What's the function type? That's strange. Maybe have like a is callable. I might just be a callable. I'm not sure if that works. Like callable equals description, and then try calling it. Except for it'd be like that. Oh man. All right. If this works, I'd be pretty surprised. And if it doesn't, then we'll have to dig a little bit deeper. All right. So we go to this. Yeah, that broke immediately. Trying to assign a value type callable to a variable type string. What? I'm trying to call it though. I guess this doesn't know what it returns. I'm just going to keep doing things until it works. No, that doesn't work. All right. I'm not totally sure what you do here. Store function in variable. Funcref. Is that it? This is Godot 2.0, but maybe it's that? Is that a thing I can type here? Funcref? Nope. What is this thing supposed to be? Store function with dictionary. Yeah. This is what I want to do. Although it's got to be for Godot 4, or it couldn't have changed. Extended through funcref, although it's much more advisable to make those objects resources instead and extend their methods for the use of class inheritance with specific functionality. Okay, I could do that. So essentially all of these would turn into objects. Where are they? Where are they indeed? Yeah, all of these would turn into objects that then I override this. The problem is that then we need a class for every single one of these. Just so that we have a function that we can use for the description. Unless you can make like anonymously derived classes. I mean, you can do that in Java. There probably is just a way to have a function wrap. It says in GDScript functions are not first class objects. That was the case. And now funcref isn't found. And now I don't know if it is possible. Oh, come on. Overridable functions, GDScript style guide, GDScript reference is probably in here. Built-in types. Contains an object and a function. Useful for passing functions as values. Maybe I just had to make this a callable. Didn't I do this somewhere? Yeah, here. Callable. Can I wrap this entire thing in a callable? There's get type, but I might not be able to write the type of it in the code at like compile time. I'm going to try something here, which probably makes no sense. Oh, wow, that does work. Okay, well, then maybe that's what I want for now. And we'll just have garbage syntax. Oh, I could wrap that in a function. It's going to get nuts. All right, so desk text. So this goes back to callable. And then that's it. We're just done, right? No, it's still saying the same thing. Line 98. This thing? Oh, what? That was never supposed to be there. I guess we'd have to say as string, which isn't necessarily possible. So let's just delete that for now. And let's say else. Yeah, this. This might not be needed. I think that's good now. In fact, this might have worked originally, and that was my problem before, but let's see. Still broken. Invalid call to function anonymous lambda. Expected 1 argument. Oh yeah, I gotta call with a level. Where is the level? Level. There. I think we're good. Hey, we're good. Adds a 0% chance, 5% per level, to do an extra 1 to 0 slashes, plus 1 max per level on the same target. So when I click this, it should go up. Yeah, look at that. All right. So, Bunny, I'm going to give you a point for steering me in the right direction there. Hey, Joshua. How long have I been working on the game? Since Monday of last week? Well, at least coding since Monday of last week. So the design I started a little bit before that. It's all somewhere in the journal command. I'll pull this up so you don't have to load it yourself, but let's see. It was starting here. Started designing a new game in the morning, March 13th. So 12 days ago, I started the design, and then a week ago, I started the development. Okay, so this works. This is ugly. Let's go see if we can make it less ugly by getting rid of the callable part of this. Maybe that wasn't necessary. I'll refresh this. Okay, it wasn't necessary. But that's at least still good to know. I should write this in GD script somewhere. Function. I probably would have written it as like first class. No. Well, I want to write some callable stuff anyway, so let's write this down. Basic code snippets. Basic, I'll just write this over here. Functions can be passed around at... Did I write anything about lambdas, actually? No, I didn't. So functions can be passed around as lambdas. You know what? I'm going to write this down here. Code snippets. Hey, Mirage. All right, now, where do we write down how I did this? So I don't really want to include this entire thing here, but I have to show what this type of this is. Description, I guess, is a callable that equals this. Level int, string adds, I'll just say %d damage. Yeah. Oh, hey, that's super loud. Hey, Mixer Studio. How's it going? I want to show you what I'm doing here in just 1 sec. Give me a sec here. So we're going to say %level. Yeah. Okay. I think that should be good. Yeah. And then later do like desk function dot call 5. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's see if this is even working to be able to show this off. Okay, it is. All right, so let's show this from the beginning then. So I've been working on a game called Idle Ascendants, and it's supposed to start as like a classic turn-based RPG. So this is a really basic title screen. It's all very prototype level code. We choose the warrior, for example, and we start the game. And so now we're in this world, and there are characters moving around. These are enemies. We can get in battle with one of them. So let me hunt this down. And then here's the turn-based fights that play out. It's like I can choose slash and sweeping arc and, you know, play out battles that way. But you have a skill tree here, and the very first skill you're forced to get is this automation one. And if I level this up to maximum, now battles will just automatically take place. So now I'm no longer having to choose my abilities, and it's going to play out this fight for me. So that's the sort of gimmick of this game. That's the elevator pitch, is that you're automating these characters, and you'll eventually get more characters. You'll be able to actually get like kind of real skills for these characters. And that's what we're working on now, is the skill tree stuff. So filling out the skills, making sure that they render correctly in the skill tree. I mean, I have not balanced the game, so I think it's pretty much impossible for you to win the fight unless you get lucky with the crush attack every single time. But yeah, characters just keep going around fighting. So I'm hoping that we can get this released as a prototype by the end of next week. And that way people can say whether it's fun. And then if it turns out to be fun, we'll spend several months developing it. File.jar, thanks for subbing. Ever heard of Facebook game Pets? No, I have not. I don't think I really played any Facebook games. I think I played like maybe Mafia Wars, and I think I tried like 10 minutes of Farmville. But beyond that, I don't think I really played anything. But yeah, welcome in everybody. Mixed Source, hope your stream was good. Is this a game I would play myself? Yeah, probably. I think I don't want to keep going down this rabbit hole, but I think idle games suck the way they're traditionally done. And so I think this is a way of making it more amenable for somebody like me at the very least. What happened in that game? There's only a video of it. Yeah. Wearing a towel, it was somewhat concerning. Uh-oh. Okay, so I wrote this stuff down. I think the binding arguments part would be pretty interesting too, and I kind of want to write that in my notes. Yeah, on mouse enter. I want to put this somewhere. Yeah, I guess I'll do that, and then you can bind arguments if you want. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so we started writing this. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this sort of thing, to be honest. And I don't really think there's a better way of doing this or a better way of writing this. I guess there kind of could be. We could have a function up here that's something like get like rapid slash description, have it take in a level and return a string and then put this stuff here. I don't know for sure that this will work. I think it should though. Can we just do that now? Let's find out. Because that might make it look somewhat better, even if it's not great. Yeah, that still works. All right, well, I guess it's a question of how many variables do you have? Because in this one, we have quite a lot. Just built my first columnar split keyboard a few days ago, and I'm struggling as I'm so slow while adjusting. Is it worth pushing through the learning curve? I made a video on just this topic. Like, this is such a specific video, and it's only useful for answers like this. Where is it? Right here. Oh, yeah. I will be very disappointed if you do not watch this video because of how incredibly specific this is. You don't have to watch it now, though. But yeah, is it worth pushing through? The short answer is yes. All right, take care, Mixed Source, and thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Hope you find some clothes. Save for later. Yeah, definitely check it out. And like I said, no need to watch it right now. There's no snake oil to be sold here, though, because it's free. So you need not worry. All right, so technically all of the different abilities should have their own description like that. I'm not going to do it. We've proven that we can do it. So we've done this, and that's good enough. So now implement the class defining ability, execute. Yeah, that one is going to be harder to do because this affects every time you do damage. This affects every time you do damage. So I need a system for this. May want to shortcut my way through it. And I could think of how we would shortcut this. Yeah, I think I gotta take a break. Let me just see where I left off here. Did I leave anything else? Oh, this should not be the case. Yeah, let's turn that off. Okay, so we added this in, and I think, was that the only change? That was pretty much the only change, yeah. Wow. And we parameterize all this stuff. Oh, Bald Bearded Builder, thank you for the raid. Welcome into all of you folks too. I'll do the super quick demo of this because I just did it. That people have been very generous with raids, but this is a game I started making about a week ago, and you have a character, you move around in the world, get into a battle. It's a turn-based game. You hit slash, it'll use a slash attack. You hit sweeping arc, you use the sweeping arc, hits a few enemies. But then you automate your character by putting points into this skill, the automation skill, and then from then on out, your character just picks its own abilities and does battles on its own. And so the game very quickly goes from a manually controlled sort of old school RPG to a more modern RPG where then you're worried about what skills are you picking and where are you fighting in the world and what other characters do you have. How do I feed you corn? By hand? What kind of question is that? Yeah, I tend to like doing things through the scripting interface of Godot, especially when it's something that involves a lot of repeated actions. Anyway, this is all very prototype level code for sure. All right, so I am going to take a break for about 5 minutes. And in that time, you can all play Jump Royale. And I hope you have fun with that. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Again, for those who've never seen this, just type join right now in Twitch chat to play, and then J and a number to jump. You'll see everybody else spamming stuff. You'll figure it out pretty quickly. I'll be back in a little bit. Hey again, everybody. Sorry about the break. Everyone who raided caught me at a slightly weird time because I'm trying to take a break every hour. Close the game. I'm going to get back to development of this, though. Man, what is it hearing my voice as? Close the game. I've got to figure this out. It's going well, Craze. I've been making pretty good progress today, actually. We got done with a skill tree. Well, done. We have skill trees in the game. They don't look great. Like, you can see the level of each of your abilities, and then you can, this is the only one that actually has a proper description. It says rapid slash level 0. So we can click this and we can add our points, and then we see it get upgraded, and then that's it. Now it's disabled. We can't add any more points. And then these actually are functional now, those 3 skills at least. So now in the battle, if I use crush, for example, it's guaranteed to kill an enemy. If I use sweeping arc, I guess it just does a little bit of damage to each of 3 enemies. And then slash will do a damage over time and has a chance of critting and has a chance of doing multiple attacks. So yeah. Did I make that? Yeah, back in December. Although Darkstorm's been kind of taking over on development for it. Okay, so where do we leave off? I think just checking this in. Yeah, so that's definitely getting checked in. That is not getting checked in. That's also not, let me just remove this. I keep having to revert. I'm just gonna delete this and this. I don't like having those there. All right, then the skill tree can now take in the data, and we parameterize all the data. All right, honestly, not a very impactful commit, but like parameterize slash, the slash ability. And then rapid slash also properly displays a description in the skill tree. Okay. All right, so execute. Execute is intended to be a class defining passive ability. So all the classes were supposed to have one of these, and this is the warriors. And it is enemies under a certain amount of life are automatically killed. So this is very powerful, of course. But in order for this to work, the warrior may not be the thing doing damage. So it basically needs to be like any target in the battle needs to know that this is affecting the battle itself. And maybe it's like, maybe the warrior is actually applying a hidden debuff on all enemies. Losing the Starstorm doesn't count. Anyway, that's one way of doing things. I think that there is deal damage here. We have a target, so we need to know the source. Or no, we don't need to know the source. What am I talking about? Yeah, I think what I need to do here is, if the target is an enemy and the main player has a warrior, then this will have execute. That's the fastest way of doing this. So let's just do that. So if target dot, is there like is player or something? There's battle character, yeah. Target dot is player. So if it's not a player and the primary character, primary player, battle character, where do we store the class? In character data, I think. Yes, in character data. All right, character data dot character class equals warrior. Did I make a string out of that at any point? Probably not. I really didn't. Yeah, okay, well, whatever. That's something in the code cleanup then. All right, so yeah, if you have a warrior, then we're just going to assume that you have this. So if you have died here, so this is where we want to do this. All right, if target dot character data dot life is, we want to get its life as a percentage. character data. Func get life percentage. There we go. Get life percentage. How about we just do 20%? So if it's less than this, then we're just saying that it's now dead. This dot life equals 0. All right, and that should do it. So there's no indication that this is even happening in the game. And there's no indication you even have the ability, but it should work. So, oh, why'd my slimes come back? Oh, whoops, I did not mean for that to happen. Slime. Actually, you know what? Let's just keep them there. Let's see what happens. Go on, you can do it. Okay. Yep, so everything just died immediately. And Synetics, thanks for raiding. I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome on in. We are making a game called Idle Ascendants. Check out the idle command for more info. I want to write a library to do that. I probably won't, though. Possible damage types. Not had the chance to follow development. I was wondering when you get around to implementing the clumsiness skill tree. The clumsiness skill tree, what? Yeah, so here's why this was happening. Why like a bunch of enemies just died all at once. Is because I think that every attack does 85 damage. Yeah, it does 85 damage, and now they die when they have less than 20% life, and they have 100 life to begin with. So that means every attack actually kills them. So let's just set this to 40, for example. So now 2 attacks will kill an enemy because they have... Oh, wait, maybe I coded that wrong. Where is... No, less than or equal to 0.2. Yeah, I did code that wrong. There we go. Now it should work. All right, so we go and get into a battle. Our little slime monsters kill everything pretty much. That should have been impossible. Yeah, something definitely seems wrong here. We're subtracting... Oh, whoops, I modified debug attack 3. I want to modify debug attack 1. I forgot I made 3 different debug attacks. Yeah, whoops. This goes here. Yeah, 40. There we go. Shouldn't occur on the next attack? No, that's... I wanted it to just be like enemies just drop dead, basically. Like a battle system library, which handles attacks, buffs, debuffs. Oh, like a simulator. I see. Unknown. So I do tripping in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. All right, so now they shouldn't just insta-kill everything, right? Yeah, they'll insta-kill a couple of things. All right, pretty nice. Pretty nice. My character is invincible. Yeah, neat. Okay, yeah, I like it. It's working. Like I said, it's not clear that it even exists. At some point, we're gonna need to add that in. So let's just mark this as done. Close issue. And I just need to write down on my own list. Actually, let's just add it over here before I move on. I'm gonna say like add class. Oh, wait, did I already write this somewhere? Add passive abilities. Is it in there? This is already actually done. I'm pretty sure we're finished with that. I don't know where I wrote this down. Yeah, I don't know where it is. It's too hard to search for these things. All right, let's just go to the issues tab. How do we even do that? There, got it. Okay, now we can search for passive and hopefully find it. I never added it. Did I type it under class? Oh, here it is. I just called it abilities. That's why. Okay, well, at some point we need to add that to the tree. I guess I'll just put it in content. Add the class defining passive abilities to the skill tree and allow you to add points every so often. Maybe once every 10 levels or something. Can't click the link. Oh, interesting. I see. So there was something blocking it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and sorry, I know I said just look at the document. I know that's a bad intro to looking at a game, but part of the reason why is there were 2 raids right before Genetics' raid, and I appreciate them all, but I don't want to keep doing an intro of the game every, 3 minutes. And also, I think some of this will be clear through context of just like you can kind of see this stuff happening. So yeah, this looks good. Let's check this in. Actually, don't want to check this part in, so revert that, keep that one as is. Actually, you know what? Maybe enemies should have a proper amount of damage that they're doing. Yeah, let's just set it to 5. It's like, semi-balanced things. It doesn't need to be great. Where is the max life now that you have? I guess I'll set this to... No, let's just keep it at that. Sure. It can just be a ludicrous amount. All right, get life percentage now exists and execute now exists. I'm fine with this. Yeah. Add execute. This is functional, but it's not obvious that it even exists in the game. E.g., it doesn't show in your skill tree. Yeah. All right. Great. So we're looking good there. I'm pretty sure this is already done, right? Add a passive ability to make sure the foundation of the system is in place. Idea for how we can do this. What was, I don't know. I'm not gonna, whatever. I'm just gonna mark this as done. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't close the issue though. Close. Okay, so next task is remaining gameplay tasks. What do we have here? If you lost, make your character respawn after some time. I don't think I want to do this. Yeah. Currently, if you lose, your character just goes back to full life. Although I think all your slimes remain dead. If you had slimes, I think that's what happens. I should really test that really fast. All right, let's set your max life to 50. Let's see what happens. Voice of Grok. All right, so I just need to get in a bunch of battles. Just automate them all there. All right. So this is apparently going to take a very long time. Well, whatever. Yeah, we're like 60% of the way to dead. I just want to see if any of my slimes die. Do they stay dead? And they should. Oh, that's not good. Slash index out of bounds line 33. This is probably me trying to kill a dead enemy. Target equals target 0. How is that happening? This is saying that there is no target in the battle? I don't think that should be possible. Yeah, I don't know how that would be possible. What does deal damage do? Deal damage checks to see if the battle's finished. So somehow slash got used when the battle should be done. I wonder if this is like a very specific race condition that happened. Because the only way I could think about this is that we try using an ability after the battle is over. Oh, wait, maybe... Oh, damage over time could have caused this. Oh, I never thought about that. The battle could be won by damage over time. Oh my god, what are the odds of us just testing that right now? I wonder if that's even what happened, but it probably is. Yeah, so where does... Bleed is the only thing that does damage over time, and it goes through deal damage, and so deal damage may end the battle. When it's equal this. It does call battle ended, though. And battle ended should set it to finish, which should prevent anything else from ever happening here. Maybe it doesn't. I guess in here we'll just say if is finished, return. I don't know if that's going to fix this, though. I guess let's just let the battle play out. Kind of the nice thing about a game like this is that testing is super easy because you just leave it for a long enough time. I could speed up the time of everything too. It would be interesting if there were enemies that fight with other enemies and level up like the player. If you ignore them for a while, they get super strong. Yeah, I've always thought about something like that being cool, the enemy leveling up as you're playing, but I don't think it'd be a fit for this game. Part of the reason why is because enemies would just spawn kind of everywhere in the world, and if you go long enough without fighting them, then they might just get beyond your power level. Are spiders or slimes like guards? Yeah, sort of. Any battle can contain up to 9 enemies, and you having slimes on your side is just me testing stuff. Eventually, maybe you can summon things. Okay, so there. I finally lost a slime. So now when I die, I'm pretty sure the slime will just be gone for good. Are the game controls finalized? Like, is it a point and click, or are there keys involved? Game controls are not finalized, no. Although battles are intended to be automated, so like they will just play themselves out. So you don't need to click these abilities after the first little bit of battle. Yeah, it looks like all my slimes are dying now. And I don't think they come back. No, they definitely don't. Okay, that's fine. Just want to make sure that's what was happening. So I can override what happens by selecting this, right? No, I can't. Okay, yeah. I think I wanted to be able to override that. Yeah, you can set a level limit, but I still don't feel like the feature probably really helps with very much. Like, it's a lot to make enemies fight each other, and for what purpose? Like, if you wanted to make the enemies get stronger, you kind of just could do that, right? And you could probably just make it a bit more obvious that it's happening. Like, there's a rare enemy, and the longer you leave it up, it'll just keep getting more and more powerful until it disappears or something. Could have some enemies that are much stronger than the player, ignore the player. Yeah, look, I'm not totally ruling this out. I have an idea for what the game is going to be, and we're not even going to fully implement that idea. We're just going to implement enough for the prototype. And then if the prototype turns out to be good, yeah, maybe we're like, the game's missing something. What do we add? Something like that could be a good idea at some point, but I don't think we'll need it now. All right. So what did I just do? I added like the tiniest change here. And I don't even know if this fixed anything necessarily, but I kind of think it did. Oh, yeah. I think I know why. Because we ended up going into process characters when this wasn't, yeah. Okay, technically then that means that after process abilities, we need to check to see if we're finished. After pretty much anything we do, we need to check to see if we're done. Because we might not get any targets. Alternatively, we just go modify something like slash and we just check if there are no targets and just return. But I think that's a little weird. So here, don't process if the battle is finished. Process abilities. This doesn't really matter. And then process characters. Do we ever check to see if the battle is won here? Yeah, I guess if is finished. Return. Okay, so try to fix an error. The slash ability hit an issue where there were no valid targets. I assume this is because... Wait, there aren't even bleed effects. What am I talking about, right? Yeah. I guess a battle somehow ended without knowing that it ended. So I added some guards around this. Will this be on Steam? Yeah, eventually. The prototype will just be on itch. I always get stuck on trying to get a map going. Tiles, Raylib confuses me. I don't think it's too bad in Godot to get maps working. Like, I know my map doesn't look great, but I can show you what's backing it here at least. So we just have a tile map, and the tile map has a bunch of sprites. And if I wanted to, where is... Oh, we're like way too far to the left. There we go. And then we're too far up. Yeah, okay, so here's my map. And if I wanted to just add in new tiles, I could just like click one of these and then just paint it in. And that's it. It's like as simple as that. You just set up your tile map to have a a tile set, and then you can just draw in sprites that you want. So if I wanted to really use this, I could, you know, add grass into the forest area, and it would be as simple as that. Okay, so I was talking about how I don't think I want to do this. If you lose, make your character respawn after some time. You basically respawn instantly and with full life. I feel like that's fine for now. So I think that should probably go into the clean up and polish. Yeah. Edit this. And we'll just take it from here. Okay, so, and we'll just change the wording slightly. If you lose a battle, make your character respawn after some time instead of instantly, like right now. All right, this will involve modifying battle was lost. Yeah, sounds good. Cool. All right, next is handle experience and leveling up. Then probably show your level in life above your character in the overworld. Allow for resting after a battle. I don't even think the resting part is needed yet. I think it's a pretty important part of the final game, but I don't know if it's needed for the prototype, so I'm going to remove that too. But I think the level and experience stuff is important. Glad I disclaimed. No. Don't feel like an idiot for that sort of thing. I just showed a system that was already working, but getting this set up isn't as simple. Like, you do have to navigate Godot for this stuff. But yeah, you can find a lot of tile sets online for free. And then if you can get that up and running, you just basically come up to here, click new tile set, and then at the bottom of Godot, you'll be able to modify the tile set and the tile map. And then you'll be able to Google search for a bunch of different things you're having trouble with if you're having trouble at that point. But yeah, then you should just be able to draw stuff in the world and kind of start moving along with your game if you want to. So handle experience and leveling up. We have this debug message saying something like warrior gains some number of experience. Did I not write this? Yeah, here it is. Warrior gains 5 experience. So that's literally it. It's just text that says that you did this. It doesn't even give you the experience. So we would need to properly give you experience and then properly handle leveling up. And I think the simplest way of doing this at first, at least, is... yeah, let's just start with this. We'll do player overworld character. The overworld character contains the character data. Okay, so player. I'll say grant experience or gain experience. Grant experience. 5. Fair experience int equals 5. Experience. This can say %d, %experience. Yeah, okay, so now we need a grant experience function inside character data. All right, so let's just write this stuff here. Val, or like amount gained. All right, now how much do you need to get to the next level? Did I write this down somewhere? Didn't I write it was like always 50,000 or something? What's in the design of this game? Experience. Experience gain. Each level requires some amount of experience, at least as much as the previous level. And enemies always grant experience based on your level difference. This amount doesn't ever rise. So all enemies grant 100 to same level characters if your level difference is -5 or lower. Okay, we're not going to code all of this stuff. So for now, let's just start with, how about every level requires 4 battles. So yeah, if it's greater than 20, then just experience minus equal 20. Level plus equal 1. Sure, add a little bit of max life, add a little bit of stats. Sure, whatever. Looks good. Done. That's how we do it. Now, we want to show your level, I think, on your main character. So we have overworld character, and that's not what I wanted to do. Overworld character. And this just has a collision shape and then a sprite that we add in later. So we could add in a level label And I guess even your life. Yeah. What if we added both those things? Add child node label. And let's say level 5. Is this 24 pixels? So hard to tell. I don't think so. No. I made the collision shape really small, right? I guess I didn't according to this. I don't remember this. Overworld character. What does this thing do? Ready. Get the collision shape and set it to 1/3 the size of the character sprite. So then the size of this doesn't matter, but we can set this to 24 by 24 just to give us an idea of how big this is supposed to be. Because this is pretty large compared to the character itself, right? This is going to show over everybody. Why is it showing there? All right, I don't know what's going on. Debug. Where's show collisions? Yeah. So is that collision box even in the right spot? It's not even showing? What? Clearly showing over the world because I see a colorful thing there. But it's not showing there? That's weird. Huh. Oh, probably because it's behind the... Oh, yeah. It's behind the sprite. So we got to turn off the sprite. Okay, fine. All right, so we'll move you out here, and then we'll go to remote and find where you are. Overworld character, and just turn off your sprite. There we go. There's your very tiny collision shape. Well, what did we learn? We learned we need to move this to the right. So I'm guessing I offset the character. Oh, yeah, I did. I remember doing this. In fact, I do it right. Wait, do I not do this? Offset equals right there. This is in character sprite. Okay, so the sprites are always offset to be the upper left of them. So wait, I need to put this like here. Hey, there we go. All right, now we just shrink the label, I guess. Label settings, font goes smaller. This looks stupid. Does it look stupid? I don't know. I think this can be fine for the prototype. What I want eventually is for you to have some UI somewhere on the screen where you can see all of your characters at once and what level they are and how much life they have. The problem is if this ever gets to be 2 digits, it's going to overflow the size of the character. Yeah. And at that point, we could move it a little bit or we could shrink it another pixel, but then this is getting pretty tiny. I don't know. Or we do something like this and put no space in between. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with this for now. That's fine. All right, so now shrink this and make it grow from the left side. Or do I center it? I can't really center it, can I? How does that look? Whatever. Yeah, whatever. I think it's good enough. It's true. Killing 9 rats at once. Pretty brave in an RPG world. So we'll call this the level label. And we're only going to show it if it's the player. No. I think I should show it no matter what. But I think it should actually be their level. So in ready, do we have their character data already? This is character sprite. I want the overworld character. I don't know. Yeah, where do we set? Oh, primary character data. Yeah, where do we set this? Add. And where are you called? From all over the place. All right, so I guess once we have the primary character data, we want to set the level label dot text. This will only work if it's actually a label equals lv dot %s and character data level. Okay, good. So everyone should show up as level 1, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And now when you level up, we got to update that. And there's no way to know that you leveled up right now. So grant experience is called from the battle. The battle should have a reference to your overworld character. And maybe it's through the overworld character that we should grant experience, because that's what needs to be leveled up. Alternatively, you know what? Maybe there could be like a battle results screen where we show how much experience you gained, and then the battle window ends. I don't want to do that now, but I think that's something we could consider at the end. No, I think there's just I'm getting way ahead of myself. There should just be some transition in confetti or something like that. Okay, so yeah, for grant experience, let's just code our way through this. Like I said, it doesn't need to be great. And in this case, what we could say is this battle was won in the overworld character. Yeah, so now overworld character. There is battle was lost over here. I guess battle was won makes sense. All right, and in this case, if regardless of whether it's owned by the player or not, I guess we could always just do an update of your level. Yeah, so set level label, set level text. There we go. What am I doing? Set level text is what goes there, and then this function call goes here. Cool. All right, now character data is actually primary character data. So the only way for this to work is if after adding your character data, we also set level text. Yeah, so I think this should be good. So if you win 4 battles now, you'll level up, and I guess you'll get a little stronger. So let's just automate the characters and then just click over here and turn off the collision shapes. Does that turn off in runtime? No, it doesn't. Yeah. All right, let's try it again. Oh no. What's more impressive, some rich nobleman's son who slays an innocent dragon once, or the hardworking guy who's starting from level 1 who gets to level 99 by absolutely decimating rats? Am I winning any battles here? There's no way to see my experience, which I am now realizing is a problem. Also, if we only ever used Crush, everything would be fine. But there's no way to force myself to use Crush because this doesn't work. Unless I hadn't automated the battles. Okay, well, this is going to take forever. So while that's running, also we can figure out if we were supposed to get to level 2, which we won't even be able to see because the level labels are all smack dab on top of each other. And I'm just a magnet for these rats and slots. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Here's a better way of doing this. Let's just make Sweeping Arc do 1,000,000 damage. There we go. And let's have it pick 9 enemies. Why not? And then let's not even automate the fights. So now we win every fight automatically. You ready for this? Fight. Blam. Sweeping arc. You're dead. Get into another one. Sweeping arc. You're dead again. All right. So now we should level up after this one. We did. Yeah. I can see a round number there. Yeah. LV2. Nice. Now, I'd also like to show life bars. How do we do it in battle? Are they beneath the character or above? They're above the character. I do want to show your life bar. Let's do that in a different task. Yeah, I'm going to mark this as done anyway. Something to fill in the wiki. I started thinking of a story, but then I'm like, this is way too early for that. Yeah. All right, so as far as I'm concerned, this is good. We added in experience points, leveling up. Obviously, it's not great, but it does work. All right, max life will set to 100 and 100, and we're gaining like 10 per level. Oh, wait, we got to set light. Yep, we did that. All right, cool. Set level text when you level up. Yep. And this may not even be necessary. We could just figure out when you've leveled up. This shouldn't be checked in. We'll revert this. Okay, so add experience and leveling. This doesn't do very much yet. Every level takes 20 experience and every fight grants 5. Yeah. All right, for that one. Okay, cool. Next change that I want to make. Do we close this? We didn't close this. Next change that I want to make is to make battles show up on top of everything else. So world map somewhere has like an add child battle window. Yeah, this. We're already adding battles to the battle thing. So we just need to add sprites to the sprite thing. Let's go find that. World map. Where are you? We don't add anything anywhere. All right, so fine. We'll just add in like overworld characters. What am I doing? No 2D. Overworld characters. Okay, so the overworld characters should show up behind the battles. Like so. Perfect. Perfect. Now we go to overworld characters. And we do this wherever we end up adding characters. So where do we add characters? Close others. Yeesh. All right, world map. Let's just search for a bunch of add child things here. There it is. Add overworld character. All right, well, that was easy to find. And that was easy to fix. And that's why I probably should have done this a little bit sooner. But now battles should show up over the enemies. So if I get in the middle of a battle, in the middle of all this stuff, yeah, you see them showing up behind the battle. That is much better. Much clearer what's happening. Costco milk jugs in a game like this. But it's lactose free. These characters don't even know what lactose is. Man, Crush is super powerful. Insta-kill if you win the 80% roll. I think, you know, every little feature takes time. And if we want to add tooltips to these abilities, for example, which I think we should do before I launch, I would need it to show you what your current chance of doing everything is. So, for example, this rapid slash thing that we have adds a 0% chance to auto attack. We need to show that inside of slash, like all of the mods combined together. All right, so we fixed this, right? Yeah. Show overworld characters behind battles. They were showing up on top of battles, which was confusing. Good. All right, allow for equipping abilities. So add prototype level UI. What? Oh, prototype level. Oh, as in like the level of detail should be at the prototype level. Oh boy. Okay, so add some UI for equipping abilities. Make sure you can equip the same skill multiple times. I mean, this is all great, but right now you don't even have multiple abilities. I think we need this one first. I don't know what I was thinking there. Yeah, allow for learning new abilities. When you hit a certain level, unlock new active abilities. Make sure to update the skill tree so the buttons are enabled correctly when that happens. Yeah, right now that's not even a thing that happens yet. Oh, actually, you know, we could go do that really fast, right? I'm losing steam. I'm saying that right now. I haven't been streaming for like too terribly long today, but what was it? Oh, 4 hours. Never mind. I have been streaming for a long time today. Yeah, it's been almost 7 hours. I only promised you all 6. Is there a mechanic to run away? No. I wrote about some of this stuff in the design here, and I don't think I wrote about running away necessarily. But I think the main problem with running away from a fight is it just doesn't make sense in an automated game. It's like, what conditions? Well, okay, wait. Doesn't make sense in a game where there isn't a strong enough death penalty. And my example for this is, consider any manual game that you take turns, like Pokemon. If you save right after going to a Pokemon Center and then you walk like 2 feet and you get in a fight, will you ever run from that fight? Like, probably not. Probably be like, I'll just risk it. And if I die, well, I just saved. And sure, there are some like, I don't know, Nuzlocke rules or something you might say, but in the base game, no one's ever going to do that. So I just don't think it makes sense for a game like this. Plus, what if, you know, your automated character runs away and you didn't want them to? That'd probably be frustrating. All right, so we're going to disable buttons now in the skill tree based on whether you've unlocked the ability or not. So how do we do that? Let's go to skill tree and let's look for mod ID. And somewhere we disable buttons. Yeah, here. So this is not easy to do. Yeah, I don't want to recreate the whole tree every time. Oh wait, no, it is easy to do, isn't it? Because I know what the ability IDs are. I don't know the parent ability, essentially. Maybe a skill button should have a parent ability. This is the ability that this button represents. And then maybe we do put in a parent ability ID. And this is the ability that needs to be unlocked. Unlicked. Funny typo. Yeah, first. Or before unlocking this ability. Or unlicking it. So we'll pass in the parent ability ID. Come on. You can do it. You can do it, AI. Man, I wanted it to type this stuff for me. I'm using my human fingers and my human brain. And all for what? So some AI can take $10 a month from me? That's not the universe I want to live in. I want to live in the one where the AI is giving me money. All right, so somewhere we make a skill button. Here it is. And we init it with the mod ID, but in this case, we also want to emit it with the skill ID. And we're not guaranteed to have a parent ability ID. So now when we go through, whoops, did I do that right? Yeah. Now when we go through all the buttons, we want to enable it if, so disable a button. Let's try this. This is disable all buttons if you are like has unlocked automation. This should just be here. Has fully unlocked automation. All right, and you have fully unlocked it when this is greater than or equal to 4. And that means that the disabled is not yet. So disable all buttons if you haven't unlocked automation yet. And then disable a button if you haven't learned the ability yet. And then this one is disable a button if you've maxed out the skill. Pays me to fix my code? That would be great. That's what I want. Make that happen, Microsoft. So if you haven't learned the ability yet, so here's where we get the parent ability ID. So if parent ability ID is not equal to null and you haven't learned it yet. James, thanks for resubbing. Welcome. Good to have you. See, regular eyes, as in not AI, they're giving me money. Why can't AI give me money? Oh wait, what was this doing? And what? Character data get level of ability equals 0. I think there's something like has ability. Is that a thing? Character data? Get ability, get level of ability. Oh, nice. It is there. So this is already done. Well. Okay, yeah, let's try it out. So now every skill should be disabled by default. Good. And you need to unlock automation. When you get this to level 4, the only ones that should enable themselves are these, yeah. So once you learn enough to unlock Rallying Cry, it should show this here. Man, when we get to actually polishing the code so that this code base is usable, there's going to be a lot we need to do. Like even hovering over slash, for example, should show you what slash does, which would be the same as hovering over this. And just reusing that tooltip or the data for it, like making these buttons look good. Yeah, there's quite a lot to do. Hey, fishy poos. It's going well. I made a lot of progress today. Like a lot of progress. All right, let's check this in. Yeah, this looks good. So disable skill tree buttons. If you haven't unlocked the base ability, then the mod buttons aren't enabled. Well, are no longer enabled. Good. Good. So yeah, when you hit a certain level, unlock new active abilities. I think for the sake of testing, just do this at level 2 and level 3. Make sure to update the skill tree so the buttons are correctly enabled when that happens. Yeah. Okay. I want to not code anymore now. I want to take inventory again and figure out where we stand. Because I said this earlier, but here's what the week is going to be like. No stream, YouTube day. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please do. Wednesday is going to be coding all except for 1 hour. And that'll be an interview. Do I have... Yeah, I have the interview command. Yeah, cool. Then Thursday, unfortunately, no stream, so I can prep for April Fools. I've got some plans. I've got a lot to do. So Friday is going to be coding all day. And then Monday is April Fools. And yeah, Tuesday is probably going to be no stream for YouTube again. And what I want to get to is I'm hoping Friday is like launch the prototype. Question mark. Don't know if that's going to happen. But that's what I'd like to aim for. So that's why I want to take inventory now and see like, is this possible? We can essentially count for about 5 hours here, about 6 hours here, and then maybe we can get another 18 hours the next week. So is 29 hours enough to finish the prototype? What? Recently read some guy's Twitter bio and it said AGI, a company name, and I just had this strange, surreal feeling at the fact that I can read something like that nowadays and not immediately think this person is a snake oil salesman. What does AGI mean in this case? Because the way I thought it was like artificial general intelligence. Is that what we're... Because yeah, what? How did... Then your message doesn't make sense to me. Not immediately think the person is a snake oil salesman. They're not a person, right? Oh, they're working toward AGI. Okay. I was going to say, if you read that someone was an AGI, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. But then that they're not a snake oil salesman, I'd be like, I think this is someone trying to sell me something. But if they work with it, then yeah, I get that. So yeah, let's look at the game. We got a lot left to do. Oh, it is looking great compared to what it used to look like. Yeah, so we have our fully automated battles. I can upgrade the slash ability completely now. Okay, my character just used it. So one of these is taking damage over time. It's that one. Look, it's dying. I want to use slash, but I can't control the battles. Yep, that one's taking damage over time now. Nice. Yeah, cool. It says you're a vampire. Are you trying to sell something? Bat oil, maybe? I think the iframes are going to be necessary even for the prototype, unless I make the regions huge or cut down on the number of monsters. I should probably just cut down on the number of monsters. Yeah, somewhere here we have this set to 10. Where is it? This, max time enemies. Let's set this to like 4. Human oil. God. Please stop. Oh, what am I doing? This won't be automated unless I click. Why are my slimes attacking before me? Huh, interesting. What am I even doing right now? I got sidetracked. I wanted to figure out what we're supposed to do. The learning new abilities thing makes sense. Equipping abilities, I have no idea what this UI is going to look like. Plan this at least a little bit, since I have no idea what the UI should look like. The UI doesn't need to be great, but it needs to let you do the thing you wanted to do. It could just be the skill tree where you do this. Could just be the skill tree where you do this. I don't know. I don't know how I want to do that yet. All right, yeah. That stuff makes sense. Then add more prototype abilities. This is also fine. I think all this makes sense. I think we will have a lot of runway to get stuff done on Wednesday. So let's say all this were done. You can now equip abilities. You got a bunch of different abilities. You can level them up. Then what would be next? Probably having multiple characters. Yeah. Maybe when you hit level 5 or something, or maybe you just press a key and you get one. So just for testing, automatically start the player with a second character. Require you to select the character to move it. Indicate that a character is selected with a glow or outline or something. Maybe use a quick shader. Only move the selected character. Show the skill tree for the selected character. Give you a UI that lets you select your characters. And then maybe don't stack battle windows. Yeah. Oh, is this done? Allow for getting skill points? No, this is not done. Show how many available skill points, get them when you level up. So I'll just write note right now you have infinite skill points. And that's actually pretty helpful. So maybe add a debug key to add more skill points. Yeah. And then make sure to take that out of the game later. Ability tooltips to battle. Make this same tooltip show in the, what is it? The skill tree when hovering over the abilities themselves. Saving loading, some content, character select screen. Oh yeah, I don't know how you're going to be able to do this. Maybe it just kicks you to a character select screen and pauses it. We need some way of adding it. Maybe it's just always add in. Oh, maybe there are no classes. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do for this. And did I write somewhere that we need the passive to show up in the skill tree? Yes. All right, a little torn on that. And then content-wise, what do we have? Need to do a balance pass at some point. Yeah, I guess I'll write that down. Balance the game a bit. Man, it's double typing a lot. Okay, so this doesn't need to be perfect, but I don't want some skills to be totally unusable. Can we jump? No. All right, I think we've made a good amount of progress. I know the game doesn't look great, but when we add in some content, is part of the content that I wanted to add some like actual map regions? Did I write this? I don't even. Enemies should spawn a proper level and scaling. Yeah, no, I didn't add this. I guess I should. There should be different map regions. Maybe just make, I don't know, 5 to 10 or something. The regions themselves aren't that hard to make. Like, we need to draw them in. And obviously they need to look a little better than this. But we need to draw them in, and then we just pick some enemies to spawn there. And so it should be pretty straightforward. Which enemies to spawn is going to be a slightly harder problem. How make the enemies walk on a grid, like tile by tile? I think that's like a post-prototype consideration. I think just having enemies wander around is fine. I've said this before on stream, but one of the things I was kind of aiming to do, let me see if I can find this, is something like this, where the map actually would look pretty similar to this. Just imagine there's no dead space in between these, where each region is like its own little dungeon almost. And then you have to defeat a number of enemies in the region to unlock the door and then go to a different region. And the doors would probably connect. But yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. I also think this would be a good use of all the tiles that they have in this game. And we wouldn't need to worry about transitions. Like, you know, these walls don't transition nicely to each other, but that's okay. We can just imagine that that's what this world looks like. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Okay, let's get going. Let's go find someone to raid. Who have I not raided yet? Game dev. Oh, shutdown. This person's not going to be streaming anymore. 2 days to launch. Have I rated this person? No, I have not. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, thank you all for watching. I want to leave you 2 links, Discord and YouTube. I will be taking tomorrow to just make a YouTube video. I try to do this every Tuesday, but I've been trying to grow YouTube. I did exceed 3,000 watch hours, so I need to update that command. But now the goal is to get to 4,000, because 4,000 is where I can get ad revenue. So I'll just say update this. Yeah. Well, like I said, thanks for watching. I'll be back on Wednesday, and we'll just keep working on this prototype. Have a good rest of your day. See ya.